Wow, what a big storm this is in a year that we really haven't seen that many big wintry makers. This is a blizzard warning. Very gusty winds plus extremely heavy snowfall. You're getting both of the extremes into the northern plains. Lots of snow on the northern portion of the system. We have a decent amount of ice, freezing rain on the southern portion, and then warm weather and rain south of that. Big temperature contrast. Right now, this evening, we are seeing the snowfall fill in a little bit across portions of the middle of the country, back into the west. It's just getting its act together now a little bit. Some of this not even really reaching the ground. Different story as we go later on into the day. There will be a little bit of a severe weather component in towards portions of the middle of the country tomorrow. So we're talking about a significant storm. Yeah, blizzard conditions, big icing. We're talking about an area of accumulation that are gonna, cause impassable roads, major plowing and getting out really the heavy equipment. This is gonna be a widespread 8 to 12 inches, but there's gonna be a corridor of 15 to 20 easy, maybe 2 feet of snow in spots when it's in Wisconsin. Finally, that front lifts past and it'll move out by the end of the week. Let's show you that. Picking things up for the overnight hours. There's the snow system starting to form along this trough. Warm front comes in, rain begins, and a little freezing rain starting while the big time snow begins out to the west. Look at this. This is the freezing rain corridor, and that's very pronounced. Look at all the moisture, the heavy rain feeding into where the cold temperatures are. Yeah, freezing rain add up a decent amount. We'll show you that. The warm front boundary is going to be that separator, and it's going to continue to snow, even some moderate go all the way into Thursday afternoon. Still snow across the northern Great Lakes. The icing will pull out at that point, and it'll be dry and super warm on this side of the front, and then a big cold front drops on in. Let's show you those temperatures as well, picking things up through the evening hours. Big time cold into the northern plains, big time warmth to the south. That warmth really pushes in, and so does the cold. And look at this contrast. You go from near 80 degrees to the teens, to single digits, to a little bit below zero. There comes the front finally pushing on in as you go into your Friday. This is very cold temperatures, Arctic blast trying to reach into portions of the Great Lakes. Snowfall, yes, a widespread 8 to 12 inches, with this corridor likely producing more than that for sure, by a good few inches. I think some spots are going to end up that 20-inch mark. We do have that snow also into portions of the northeast, running east to west or west to east across the area, at least a good few inches, several inches in spots far north. Icing is going to be the big story. Chicago, you're just missing out on the icing, but between Chicago and Milwaukee, you could pick up a quarter to almost a half an inch of ice. No, 2.1 inches of ice is not going to form, but there's a lot of rain, and some of that's going to run off. So you might see a quarter of an inch of ice to maybe a half an inch of ice across portions of southern Michigan. Anything in northern Ohio or into southern Pennsylvania, that's going to be fairly minor, but you can see the trend, still an area of icing going all the way into the coast. Big deal type storm. And yes, there could definitely be power outages with that locally across the area as well. Stick with us. We'll give you more updates throughout.